amount of trouble I had with it today, but
Yes,
hmm
exactly.
but it is the first TikTok, so hopefully everything goes well, and hopefully everybody enjoys the podcast that we have for you today. And just speaking on living intentionally as we go through our journey through consciousness, and that's kind of why we picked the name of the channel that we have. It's about just intentionally going through making sure that across this journey that you take in your life throughout your life, that you're able to intentionally make these corrections that you need to make, intentionally see things that are going wrong, intentionally just make the effort to show up intentionally day in day out so that you can make this progress in your life. So that's just something to um, we basically just want to go over a few of the things that we use, some of the techniques, and just things that we have learned about why it's important to be intentional and the things that you can gain once you are intentional. So,
Awesome. I can't see any of you the on your comments. I won't be able to see any of that. I'm gonna pull it up on my
oh,
news or on my actual. I'm gonna pull it up right here, and that way I can see who's commenting on consciousness on our
oh, okay,
page.
yeah, we could do that.
Because I can't see it from here.
You mean the
And
yeah, the consciousness page? Okay, I got you.
yeah, because what's going to happen is it'll just be you that can see, being that I'm on mine. So I just want to, I'll just swing over there on Consciousness Journey real quick so
Okay.
I can say hi. Um,
Oh no,
real quick.
cancel.
To use some angel trees, and this kid
Oh
said that
my god. Did I just break it? Did I leave the thing?
it looks
Yes.
like the comments. Why is the comments off? There we go. And
Oh no. Don't accept that. That was not the right button. That's crazy. There it is. There it is. I don't know what you did, but it says now I can invite you. It's sent.
hey,
All right, there we go.
okay, everyone.
I don't know what I did, but maybe I won't tap anything again.
We got it. So we're going to talk about living intentionally. And you can go ahead and describe what we're about to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Or,
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I don't know why it kicked me off. I was trying to boost it, but I guess maybe we just have to do this without it. But basically what I was saying is just living intentionally, and like one of the things that like we wanted to go over is just really about like when you live with intention, the things that you can gain, the what you can like the growth that you can have, the things that it allows you to do. And so because of that, like we just wanted to go over some of the principles. So did you want to start us off with the principles, or am I going?
you can go ahead and I'll bounce off of you like I normally do on YouTube. So.
All right. Yes, for everybody who doesn't know, we do go live on YouTube. We're actually live there now. But we definitely wanted to get the viewer base here and hopefully have a successful live, and just have people like really just vibe and have a good time with us while we do these. And we hope that you learn something and that you enjoy it. Also, when it comes to living intentionally, like one of the first things that comes to me is like the amount of that it takes to start a journey. So as we relate to our name, Journey Through Consciousness, like it comes to a point where things will happen to you in life, and and you have to navigate, you have to move, you have to go from place to place. And if you're not ready to see what's there, you're not ready to be intentional about your growth. And you can hide from it, you can run from it, and you can fight it. But like I said in the last podcast, like you can either learn from it when you had the opportunity to do it your way, or it can backfire in your face, and then things can happen to you that's out of your control. So with that being said, like for me, like one of the things about being intentional is knowing that, hey, like being intentional about my growth means that I'm now aware and I'm ready to see things about myself. Like, so I'm ready to see that things are changing. I'm ready to see that there's growth. I'm ready to see that there's what's around me, how is it affecting, what am I doing, what's happening to me, how am I responding, and things like that. And so because of that, when you're trying to figure out where you're going and how you're moving, you have to be intentional about it, and you have to know what factors are the ones that are affecting you. So when you're moving with intent, you know that, all right, this may not be for me. This is where I succeed. This is where I fall short. This is, you know these different things about yourself. So with intent, you can say, hey, maybe I should stay out of this situation. Maybe I should prepare more for the next situation. Maybe I should do, this, that, and the third. There's a multitude of things you can do, but when you have intent, you have purpose, you have direction, you have somewhere that you're ready to go, and you have somewhere that you can strive towards, somewhere that you can push to, and just know, hey, maybe things didn't go right while you're on the way, and just treating it like that quest where I know where I'm going, I know what I'm trying to achieve, and I know what I'm here for. So there's less wasted time, there's less wasted resources, and things like that. So moving with intent can help so many things in so many different ways.
oh yeah, that's
Mhm.
where I'm at with it, and also even the smallest choices, even, one thing I describe is I want to know why I'm doing what I'm doing,
Yes.
why I'm saying what I'm saying,
Yep.
and why I'm responding the way I'm responding. I don't want anyone to know me better than I know myself. And even if I react in a way that is maybe someone may think is, that's not very conscious. Well, I guarantee when you ask me, there's going to be an intention behind what I did, and I will be able to break it down to a science. But that came first with getting real with myself.
Hmm.
Because if I can't get real with myself, how am I going to get real with you? And so, this brutal honesty of looking within myself and
Hmm.
really looking at that shadow to be able to integrate it eventually. But having to look at that, and not in a harsh way, um, but to look at it, accept it, and face it. There's a saying that, we can't conquer what we don't face.
Yeah.
Um, and eventually, we're like you were saying, we're going to have to face that. It's
Mhm.
going to come eventually.
Yeah.
So why not now?
Yeah, that is something that, like, it's funny how the same cycles come back over and over, and you think you were done with something and it tests you. Like, there could be success, or there could be intent, there could be growth that you thought you had, and when the cycle comes back around again, it retests you, and you're like, oh, I thought I had that dressed up a little bit more than I did. Yeah, I thought I had that down, but maybe there's a little bit more growth to be had, or I've only targeted for one specific intention, but there's 12 others that I need to get, or there's whatever amount of others that I need to stay focused on. So being able to master this intent, being able to master your direction and where your direction could point you so that you can see what are the potential opportunities for growth, where do I need the most growth? And I like to explain it like this, like, because, and this is one of the reasons why I'm building this in our dashboard, our growth dashboard, the Rise dashboard, which is an aspect chart. Because when you look at, like, the easiest way to describe it is in video games when you have a character sheet. And you can have a character sheet in multiple different game types. It really doesn't matter what you look at. But whatever your game is, whatever you're playing, or whatever type game that has character stats, if you've ever noticed, some characters are off balance. Some are highly balanced, some are really off balance. Like, for example, when you're playing a game and you have like the really buff character, you always know that he's slow. He's strong, he can take hits, but he's slow. And then you have this light person, they're always really fast, they can't take hits. You have character sheets. So just describing that. So now that we know we have these character sheets, what I always say with the aspect charts is like, you could have done so much work in so many areas, but there's a few that's keeping you back from growing in other areas. For example, you could have done so much work on your job, on your purpose, on knowing who you are, but you could have done no work on communication, no work on social cues, not just your social cues, but other people's social cues. You don't know when they're down, whether you're being attacked, or whether somebody's being honest with you and direct. You don't know the difference between, like, boundaries and just like pure growth. Like, you just have no idea, because your aspect in this one area is so far behind that it's keeping you back from growth in even your other areas. And you see that a lot. Like, if you have a player, you're like, oh, he's so good, this player is so good, but he's so weak that every time he gets tackled, he's hurt, so he's always out. You don't draft that person. Whatever your character thing is that you love so much, like, it doesn't matter. What matters for this particular analogy is just knowing that there's some areas in your life that you need to set the intention to grow and fix them, so they'll stop holding you back in other areas of your life. And I say that to say, like, this is something that I had to deal with. This isn't any targeting of anything, but like something that I had to deal with. Like, I focused so much on work, so much on what I love, completely forgot about relationships in my life, and a lot of them were suffering. And this season that I just finished has been fixing and ending relationships in my life that just weren't beneficial to me, or I wasn't beneficial to them. But with the intention, I knew that this is the issue that I need to fix, because I could have ran from it. But the way I see it, I was put in a situation to learn from it. I didn't learn enough. I probably made it worse. And then I probably was put in this position again, depending on how you look at it. But to me, I can see that there's a cycle happening, and I can either break it intentionally, or I can let it keep going.
You said a lot there. For me, and you're speaking of the characters, and I just started reflecting on who's better to teach us than the relationships that we have surrounding us,
Mm-hmm.
and really identifying and looking at. I feel like when someone enters into my life, there is a reason and there is an intention
Sure.
why that person has entered into my life. And I guarantee most of the time there is some sort of lesson that I'm going to learn. Not everybody that walks into my life is a destiny.
Right.
That I might
Right.
have 1 to 2%.
Right.
My circle is a dot, right? So, being open to saying, what is this person going to teach me about myself?
Yeah.
And as far as the characters, I was thinking, well, I'm the specific character in the video game, right? And I'm going towards this other character.
Yeah.
And I have to see how my character is going to integrate with this character and what they got going on. But a
Right.
lot of times people are going to mirror to me what I need to work on. What better than another person? When I need a lesson, I'm going to get sent a person.
Mhm.
Because I don't think this table right here is really going to teach me or trigger me. Now, I'm not saying that, there's tables that, might, be unstable or whatever. It might get on my nerves, but another person, that's what we're here for, is connection, right?
Mhm.
And that relationships and the ability to evaluate myself in these relationships is what's taught me consciousness and how to live with intention. Because when I am triggered or when someone has really irked me, first thing I'm going to do is look within myself.
Mhm.
And I'm going to see, okay, did I play a part in this? Like, okay, what is it? Okay, I know I can be this way. And this is part of knowing who I am. Because knowing who I am, I'll know the type of wounds that are there and some of the areas that I'm still working on and why this is triggered me. Usually I can catch it like
Yeah.
this wasn't always like that. But yeah, so I'm grateful for the people that have come into my life that, I've had to learn really hard lessons with.
Mhm.
Because I'm always going to gain.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah. But when you have that attention, you do, because you know why you're here. You know why you're,
Right.
what is to be gained. You know to even look for something to be gained. Like, you're like, okay, obviously this isn't going to be a positive one, so we need to learn something here. What is the lesson? What is the lesson? This is an escape room. Think of it like an escape room. There's something here to be found. What is it?
Yes. And I definitely want to learn that lesson because eventually it'll come again.
Mm-hmm.
In another
And it'll,
path.
yeah.
I truly believe that I'm here to grow my soul and I'm on this learning planet. So, and I say this like really nonchalantly, but it's really deep. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. There's a lot of, I don't want to look at that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
But the skeletons in your closet, man, you gotta. Yeah, I've learned through experience. You may want to run from them, but it's not gonna help you. You might as well face.
Right.
And it's funny because you see those things in the book, in books, and they address it a lot. This concept of like, make sure that you tackle these skeletons in your closet, because if you don't, what could these skeletons reveal? And there's so much that inward depth look could reveal to you if you set it with intention. And that's why they say, like, even when you look at another thing that they say with intentions, but actually before I go there, I wanted to go back to what you said, like somebody that gets sent in your life and they're a reflection. I don't always think they have to be a reflection, but I know what you mean. But I think like it's kind of like both ways. Like it is a reflection, but it's also the way for you to watch, like Inception almost. It's like a way for you to watch to see if you actually did grow. And so, yes, I do think that's a reflection of your growth. But sometimes it's not just about like, not from the perspective of like I'm just seeing what I'm doing, because not everything is what I'm doing. Sometimes it's how you react to what they're doing, and that's a lesson of somebody being put in your life. And so with that being said, I want to be a little bit more specific. Like, for example, I'm in dating and I'm saying, hey, my last relationships didn't go too well. I didn't like this about him and this about him. I've told myself that if somebody doesn't want to show up for me, then I'm not going to show up for them. And I promised myself I wouldn't do it again. So then the next person comes around and then it's a test. It's like, oh, UK, you said you wasn't? Okay, let's see. Well, I put somebody here that's everything that you like just listed on paper, perfection. Let's see now. Are you gonna compromise? She's making you, or that person's testing you. She's seeing, are you gonna compromise? Are you gonna show up? And then, like I said, like one of my biggest things was like, hey, if the person is unwilling to show up early on, I know what type. I now have the intent to stop. Before it would have been like, oh, just work harder and they'll love me, or do this and they'll do this. None of that's gonna work. If the person isn't showing up with intent to the relationship, then they're not gonna show up. Maybe they'll want to eventually, but that eventually will then be after now you're beat up. So now the relationship is toxic because you've been waiting a year for a person to do something that you've been trying to have. It doesn't work. So you might as well set the intention, know what's happening, and then make sure the reflections that you're seeing aren't just your own reflections, but reflections of a past you or reflections of someone else that you need to see. So that's one thing I want to.
Yes, and make sure your reflections aren't projections.
Oh yes,
right?
yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
because
Cannot project
there's a
fears.
difference. Yeah, that am I projecting
Mm-hmm.
what I want onto someone else, or am I projecting what I think this person is or should be, or am I looking at reality?
Yeah.
And that leads me to trust. And it wasn't until I began to really deep dive within my shadow and my light work, to where I started being able to trust myself regarding relationships. I went through a great time, a long time, I mean, of an isolation.
Oh yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Because I was very fearful of allowing anybody in. Because until it was revealed to me that you now have, done the work, done, a lot of your healing work, and you can trust yourself to see that, hey, when these red flags come up, you will have the strength, the inner strength to walk away.
Oh yes, yes.
And do what you need to do, because a lot of times that fear of I'm going to get caught up like I did last time. I just want to avoid, and so that's not a way to, live intentionally. So when I do meet someone, I can be open. I can, allow them to, be free and share with me without projecting onto them. And, if we are compatible, then yes. But and a lot of times for me in relationships, as far as intention, it's like it's not necessarily that I don't like this person, or and this person may not be on a frequency that vibes with mine, and that's okay. Or I may not just be connected to them at this time, and that's okay. It doesn't make this person, a horrible person.
Yeah.
It's just they're on two different waves.
Yeah, magnetism. You're on two magnetic fields. Like it's just you're either just that's why like you can either stay farther enough away from each other where either of your forces don't bother, or you're going to be repelled or attracted. There's either one, or you can stay away. You know what I mean? But setting that intention that, hey, maybe this isn't the spot for me, I'm feeling really repelled here, maybe you should stay away. Like it's pushing you, it pushes away, you know what I mean? So but with the intent to just focus on where you're headed and what you're doing, what you're going for, I think that's all that really matters. Like, because that is the growth point. When it comes to like self correction, self debt, like just knowing what is the skeletons that I need to work on.
And it's also the good things too within ourselves, because if you're more on the depressive side, you're more likely to lean into that shadow and only see
Oh
the
yeah,
shadow side
true,
of
true.
like oneself, right? So that's that specific type of person who leans more into the negative self-talk, etc., would need to do more of like, okay, what parts of myself are do I find beautiful? Like diving into that light work
That's true.
as well. So it's like a two-sided thing, and and that's okay
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, doing shadow work on your shadow. I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then also like living intentionally, and it doesn't have to go straight into the deep dive,
Hmm.
right? Because I feel like we will be, if you're really intentional about your inner work, more will be revealed as it needs to.
Hmm.
And it will unravel deeper truths as you become more prepared for those
Yeah.
truths. Because that depth of honesty, it'll evolve, and you'll see more of that. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be the deep dives always. It could be, I'm waking up this morning and I'm intentionally choosing to get up. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to, try to have a good day. Like it can be really simple,
Yeah.
things as well. I'm when I have a conversation with someone on the phone, I'm intentional about that conversation. When I'm speaking to a coworker,
Yeah.
I'm intentional. I'm not just winging it. I know why I'm saying what I'm saying, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and it just makes things flow.
Yes, I agree.
Hey,
Hello, everybody. Just
I got it. Yes. Hey,
just taking a pause right quick. I am pressing these buttons to see what I need to do to interact with everybody as we take just a quick second of a break. We also have to be on here for a certain amount of time. So what I wanted to do is see what else is do we want to stay on
say
this?
hi to everyone
Okay, yeah, we could do that.
that has came on that is
Yeah,